Hazleton was the scene of a peaceful protest over the weekend. More than 200 people took part in the Black Lives Matter protest on Saturday. It was held in response to racism and police brutality after the death of George Floyd in Minnesota. The event began with speakers at Memorial Park at the corner of Church Street and Diamond Avenue. The participants, some carrying signs and chanting, then marched down Church Street to Hazleton City Hall. The Hazleton City Fire Department blocked off traffic to allow the people to process safely. According to the Standard speaker, organizer Annie Mendez says, quote, "Thank you for standing up for what is right. We cannot stay silent," unquote. Just before the protest, the Greater Hazleton Alliance of Christian leaders gathered to pray for the city of Hazleton and the country. The religious leaders also made a call for unity and peace in the area, and here's part of a letter that they wrote. "It is right that we respond to the racial tension felt across our country with compassion, and that our collective words and actions honor George Floyd's life, his family, and friends." We'll post a link to the full letter on our Facebook page. Our Lisa Sugart spoke with two of the religious leaders who were there on Saturday, Pastor Rodney Murphy of Faith Assembly of God Church and Pastor Judy Jaramillo of the Christian Mission Breath of Life Church. Pastor Jaramillo starts off by talking about the scene on Saturday.
We gathered together to pray, to show, the city that we know what's going on, but we want to respond in a godly way, which will be showing love, compassion, and unity, that it's the best way to conquer anything that rises up against our nation.
What was your reaction, and what were the reactions of the other people who were there?
We were all, we were happy, to be there, to show support, to support the city. We prayed, we sang a song, and I was crying. I knelt down and I cried, lift up my hands to the heavens, asking God, to take control of our nation. I've been here since I was a little girl. I was born in the Dominican Republic, but for me, this is my country. I have my children, grandchildren, ministry working here. So everything that happens to America hurt us. And we were really, touched, and we really felt in our heart to just cry out to God to just take control of our nation.
Pastor Rodney, what has been the reaction from your parishioners and from your community from what is going on in the world today?
Well, our parishioners and the people that I'm connected with have a mixed emotions. It's anger, frustration. I think we're tired of the same story that we're hearing constantly through the media of different individuals that are being murdered or hurt, seeing the families and the devastation. This is not what God has for us as a people. This morning I did a brief devotional online about racism and what the Bible has to say about it. Out of this, I will say that we are forming in our church a task force that we're going to put together to just talk about the social struggles that we are having, from racism to poverty to children being neglected, and this is the good out of this for our church community, is that we're going to be putting feet to our faith, and we're going to try something about it, as well as the Greater Hazleton Alliance of Christian leaders. I believe that there'll be some further steps that we're going to not just say this is bad, but we're going to say what can we do about it as a community.
Are you confident that people will come together and we'll get past this?
Yes, I am. Unfortunately, right now we're in the midst of the pain and the suffering, and people react differently. I do believe, as always, at least we can speak for our area, that we will reunite. We have wonderful leadership in our communities and our churches. I do believe it is something that we should not allow to just pass away without doing something about it. And that's something our group hopefully will be a part of, keeping this alive. I don't believe that violence is the way to go about it. I don't believe that, evil for evil is the way to go about it. But I believe using wisdom and peaceful protests and opportunities to gather together, different races, different people groups. I think all of that is going to give us an incredible opportunity to make a positive impact to a tragic situation.